today to discuss how we can enhance our immune system and definitely enhance our health. So having a robust immune system and being healthy actually is the #1 defense against any disease or during the flu season. So you do have a lot of control over your health. And really, we're going to start with the basics. It begins with diet and exercise. So let's ask ourselves, really, why do we eat? And when we're hungry, are we choosing healthy fuel to feed our body so that we can optimize our immune systems? Because really, we are what we eat and what we digest. And so also, are you feeding an unhealthy gut bacteria? If you find yourself craving sugars, you probably don't have healthy bugs in your gut. And are you then feeding your comfort? Are you eating when you need to be comforted to alleviate a need? So what I'm asking is for you all just to check in and really ask yourselves, why do you eat? What kind of healthy foods are you choosing? Are you choosing just to comfort yourself with junk food and chocolate or maybe alcohol? So just be present the next time you go to eat and ask yourself, why are you eating? Are you eating it to literally fuel your body? And then choose wisely. And so secondly, let's talk about exercise. Exercise literally is the foundational health strategy because it strengthens your immune system via many, many different mechanisms, which we're not going to go into today. But especially as we age, it's vital that we have aerobic exercise and strength training. When we don't do that and we lack physical activity, actually we decrease our muscle mass and also our lymphatic system, which carries our nutrients to and toxins from our cells to be excreted out of the body, aren't working properly. And so then what happens is we're asking for all kinds of health challenges. So exercise has been proven as we age to improve our innate immune functions, which helps reduce not only our infection risk, but also inflammation, which is the #1 killer in the United States. It really all begins in our gut. So with exercise, I would recommend, if you've not been physically active, to begin walking 15 and work up to 30 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week, and choose a fun strengthening exercise that you can do 3 times weekly. Just really, really important to get that exercise in, to get the body moving. The body does love activity. And then with our diet, our goal is, and I know this is hard, 9 to 12 vegetables and fruits daily. And so you want to have 70 to 80% of those vegetables in salads and greens, and 20 to 30% fruits, depending upon if you have any type of diabetes or blood sugar hypoglycemia challenges. Also, you want to choose organic as much as possible. And if you can't have organic meat, at least do grass-fed beef and choose chicken and also healthy fish. And also know that it's really important to choose healthy organic grains because most of the grains, when they're harvesting the grains, they are soaking the wheat in glycophosphate, which is Roundup, to help dry that wheat out. So really recommend organic grains, bread, crackers, your pastas would be very important. Also consider raw versus cooked. And if you find that you are cooking your food AM, noon, and dinner, then I highly would recommend that you use a supplement to help break your foods down. And I'm going to share with you one of my favorite supplements. It's called Life, and they're plant enzymes, and it also has a dual role, and I'll be sharing that with you in a moment. So know the majority of Americans eat processed foods. And why is that a challenge? Because your food is no longer alive, okay? And it stresses your physiology of digestion. So we are born literally with a bank account of pancreatic enzymes. And so if we're just eating all the time processed foods, we're deleting that bank when your enzymes are involved in, goodness sakes, thousands of biochemical reactions. So it's really important to start considering eating a raw salad, raw vegetables, raw fruit, along with some of your other cooked foods. And why I love Life is this product literally breaks your food down to the smallest molecular size. So it's taking your proteins and breaking it down to amino acids. It's taking your carbohydrates, breaking it down to glucose. And it's taking your fats, really important with women and hormonal issues, and breaking it down to essential fatty acids. And that also affects inflammation in your body. So bottom line, with Life plant enzymes, you are releasing trapped vitamins and minerals. And no, we eat to stay healthy. So doing that gives you the fuel that you need to start bringing that body back into balance, and also giving your body the opportunity to heal itself. Because if we give the body what it needs, our bodies are so capable of healing itself. And that's why I love being a naturopathic physician. So the second reason I love Life is because of the probiotics. Are you aware that 80% of your immune system is in your gut? So ask yourself, how are you feeding your body? Are you eating those foods that are high in healthy bugs? So let's take a look at some of those foods. One of them that's really very popular now is kimchi. Now that is fermented vegetables. I've made my own. It is hard to eat those. So what I do is I put half a teaspoon to a teaspoon into my soup and gradually increase that to a couple tablespoons. Also, good old German sauerkraut is very high in probiotics. Plain kefir, add your berries to your kefir. It's just much more healthier than having the sugar in it. And also plain yogurt and Greek yogurt. Also various raw vegetables and other foods are high in probiotics. So know that the bacteria in your gut literally outnumber your human cells 10 to 1. And know that if you don't have healthy bacteria, which is 80% of your immune system in your gut, your brain literally can suffer too. When you have an unhealthy gut, you have an unhealthy brain, because 70% of your serotonin, your neurotransmitter, which is the feel good, right, hormone, is produced in your gut. So what's exciting is psychiatrists are starting to get this, and they're actually, for anxiety and depression, they're starting to add probiotics in to change the gut flora and the gut microbiome. Also, 90% of your genetic material is not your own. It is literally from bacteria. So 100 trillion bugs of healthy bacteria versus 10 trillion healthy human cells. So it's vital that you nourish your gut. And with Life enzymes, I love this product because it's a 2-in-1 high impact product that is going to help you get optimal fuel from your food, and also optimal probiotics, which are stabilized, so they're going to get down to your gut. And I recommend that you take 1 3 times a day before eating a meal, or if you've had your gallbladder removed or you have some major health issues, I would recommend 2 3 times a day at the beginning of a meal. And then if you happen to forget, it's okay, take it immediately after you get done eating. And by the way, Life plant enzymes also help babies with colic, and also help pets if they have itchy skin. Their Life enzymes are just breaking the pet food down to the simplest form, and you're going to find a happier dog or cat. Okay, so let's take a look at some specific nutrients also that help support a healthy immune system. So a question we want to ask ourselves is, can we literally get all the nutrients we need from our foods? And the answer after study is no. Even the American Medical Association recommends taking a multivitamin mineral a day. And this is due to all the farming practices that we're doing nowadays. We don't let the land rest. Also, goodness sakes, we lost our topsoil in the 50s. And also we're adding in all these fertilizers, herbicides, and glycophosphate into our food supply. So I would love to introduce to you to one of the very few 100% whole food multivitamin antioxidant vitamin product that I've had in all my years of practice. I love this product for many, many reasons, because it's plant-based and they use whole food and herbs, and they use chelated minerals, which is very important because a chelated mineral is an amino acid chelate. And so when that magnesium is bound with an amino acid chelate called glycinate, the body recognizes that as food, and so it's going to absorb it far more than just a plain magnesium supplement. Balance, this multivitamin mineral is so amazing. It literally starts balancing the body. And minerals typically are often the #1 deficiency in our system. Know that 95 to 90%, 97% of all your vitamins and minerals are synthetic. And how do you know that? Take a look at your vitamin C, and if it says ascorbic acid, then know that that is chemically synthesized vitamin C in a lab made with HCl, hydrochloric acid, and typically genetically modified corn syrup. So that's a challenge that you have when you go to buy your vitamin mineral supplement. I love educating you all on nutrition, and know that a multivitamin mineral can have on the label one natural. And our government allows that natural advertisement to be on that label because natural only means that it's 10% natural and 90% synthetic. So just be aware of that in what you're buying, and truly what you buy, whether it is unleaded, leaded, or supreme, has an effect, just like gasoline in your vehicle, in your body. So let's take a look at some of the minerals that affect our immune system. Zinc has been around for a long time, and in our product called Balance, our multi-mineral antioxidant vitamin supplement, we have 8 milligrams of biglycinate. And the RDA, the recommended daily dose of zinc, is 30 milligrams. And so the low end of that dose they recommend is 5 to 10, and a high dose of that would be 25 to 45 milligrams. So if you have any type of health challenges and you want to start taking a healthy multi-mineral supplement like Balance, you'll want to take 2-3 times a day and get that zinc dosage on up. Or if you want to choose to take another different type of multivitamin mineral, just make sure that you're getting a good 30 milligrams along with the Balance, because that will help increase your zinc up and help support your immune system. Zinc plays a very important role to ward off viral infections, and it definitely supports our immune system in that. It modulates cell-mediated immunity. It's also an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. So the challenge with zinc is largely it can be insoluble and can't get inside the fatty layer that surrounds our cell. Our cells are surrounded with fat. And so we found that in a study in 2014 that zinc needs a transporter. And so that's called zinc ionospheres. And so some of the zinc transporters that are very common, especially nowadays, is green tea or a product called quercetin. So these two products help increase the zinc uptake inside the cell, which then helps fight common viruses and supports our immune system. So let's take a look at some foods high in quercetin, which is quercetin in and of itself is a very potent antiviral product. And it's found in capers, in onions, elderberries, kale, okra, apple peels, cranberries, asparagus, and goji berries. And know that our Balance, our multi-mineral product, has amazing goji berries in it to help that zinc get inside the cell. So just a little tidbit there on zinc. It very much is important. And you can take it also as a lounger. And often you can find it with echinacea. And it's just very beneficial to have a tablet, a lounger that you chew up and swallow, because it just helps oftentimes where viruses hide in the back of our throat. And it's just an easy way to take a zinc in addition to taking a multi-mineral. The next trace mineral I'd like to talk about is selenium. And selenium has many, many health benefits. It's essential as an antioxidant. And why? Because it protects our cells from damage. It also is anti-inflammatory. It's also antiviral. And it also has anti-cancer properties. There's been a lot of different studies done on selenium and prostate cancer. So the World Health Organization, the RDA, they recommend 70 micrograms up to 350 micrograms a day. So the multi-mineral that I'm talking about and sharing with you that's 100% whole food, Balance has 35 mcgs in it. So we would want to increase that a little bit by either taking an additional selenium supplement or increase foods that are high in selenium. And so one of the top foods that are high in selenium is Brazil nuts, tuna, oysters, pork, beef, chicken, wheat pasta, which we would want to have organic, right? And shrimp and mushrooms. So that's just another tidbit there of a healthy trace mineral to help support our immune system. The next one I'd like to talk about is vitamin C. And oh my gosh, it's an excellent antioxidant and totally helps protect immune cells from damage. Know that you want to select a food source vitamin C versus a synthetic vitamin C, because the body will recognize a food source and absorb it it absorbs it more thoroughly, because you have the bioflavonoids, you have the root and quercetin, all in that food source, which helps then you increase your vitamin C in your body. Know that vitamin C is water soluble, and so we need to have it every day. There's thousands of studies and excellent research done on vitamin C and how it helps support our immune system. So if you've been a person that's not been taking a multivitamin mineral, or you've not been taking any type of vitamin C, it's very important, if you're sick, not to start on regular water-soluble vitamin C. There's been many studies done showing that, and this also is in the research, that you have pros and cons with people getting a cold or the flu, increasing their vitamin C, right? And some studies said that, oh my gosh, it totally helped. And other studies said that it had no effect, vitamin C, on the type of virus of a cold or a flu. And so the reason for that is, if you're not on a maintenance vitamin C, when you start taking vitamin C when you're sick, you actually decrease your immune system for 4 to 5 days, okay? And so if you've not been on maintenance C and you all of a sudden get ill, you want to get a quality liposomal vitamin C, which is a fat-soluble vitamin C, and you can start taking that 1,000 milligrams, 1 or 2 capsules 3 times a day. That immediately increases your T helper cells. And there's been many clinical studies done showing that. And so that's why there was such discrepancy in the studies with viruses and in the studies, okay? It just really depends on whether or not you are on a maintenance C. And then if you're on maintenance water-soluble C, you just increase that up 500 milligrams to 1,500 milligrams, okay? Know that the RDA for vitamin C is 50 to 60 milligrams a day. You need 5 servings of raw foods to get to that RDA. Foods such as different kinds of berries, kiwi, broccoli, citrus, bell peppers, leafy greens. And know that if you can't do them raw, lightly steam so they contain some of the nutrients that they need to have, including the vitamin C. The multivitamin that I love a lot, Balance, contains Arceola cherry. So that's a whole food vitamin C. And it's a challenge trying to find whole food vitamin C, but it is out there. And just get a good quality one, and hopefully organic. Also, I love this multivitamin mineral because it also not only is 100% food, but it also contains shiitake mushrooms. And there's been hundreds, if not thousands, studies done on how shiitake mushrooms help the immune system. It definitely has a modulating effect on the immune system, and you can eat 1 to 2 servings of the shiitake mushrooms daily, or 1 to 2 capsules of Balance 3 times a day. probably one of the most important vitamins that we are the most deficient in for many, many reasons is vitamin D. And according to researchers and hundreds of scientific studies, it improves your immune function and not only helps your immune function fight off all kinds of different viruses, but it also supports heart, bone disease, cancer, all kinds of inflammation that go on in our body. And it's one of the most deficient vitamins in America. It's fat soluble and it acts like a hormone-like vitamin. And so I'm going to read some of the deficiencies that this vitamin can hide that you don't even think about. And let me just get my notes here and read them off. And I got this off of Dr. Mercola's site. But the risk level for hidden vitamin D deficiency is huge. So you want to have a blood test done to find out what your levels are. And the majority of my patients, my new patients, when they come to me, their levels are anywhere. I just found someone with a level of 6 mg of vitamin D to in the teens. And a healthy vitamin D level is between 50 and 60, and that's where we want to strive. And if you're ill, you want to get that vitamin D level up to 60 to 80, okay? And so the reaching effects, the far wide reaching effects in your body, you always want to check to see if you're deficient, if you have any kind of health concern, literally. And certain groups of people are at increased risk for vitamin D. And those people are that if you, it's winter and you don't live in the tropics or the subtropics, then you're not getting the vitamin D sunlight exposure that you need, because the sunlight naturally creates vitamin D in our body. If you have darker skin, you have more of a challenge with the sunlight in producing vitamin D. The darker skinned people need as much as 10 times more sun exposure to produce the same amount of vitamin D as such with a pale person. If you're 50 or older, your skin produces less vitamin D when it is exposed to sun. And if you spend a lot of times indoors and you don't get outdoors and you always wear sunscreen, you're not getting adequate vitamin D levels. If you're overweight or obese, vitamin D is a fat-soluble hormone-like vitamin. So body fat can act as a sponge and take the vitamin D out of your body systemically. If you have gut issues, a gastrointestinal condition definitely affects your ability to absorb fat. So that may be why you have a lower absorption of vitamin D. If you're achy or tired or both, those are classic signs, believe it or not, of vitamin D deficiency. They can mimic all kinds of conditions, vitamin D deficiency, characterized by fatigue and achy bones. And sometimes if you just feel blue and you're depressed, serotonin is the brain hormone associated with mood elevation, and it rises with exposure to bright light and falls with decreased sun exposure. So you may be feeling blue just because you have low vitamin D. If you're pregnant, women require higher amounts of vitamin D with their pregnancy, and that aids in developing the delivery of optimal health for that baby and in the delivery room. So also, if you notice you have unusual head sweating, that's one of the first signs actually of a vitamin D deficiency, is a sweaty head. So just really kind of interesting hidden risk that a lot of doctors don't think of to check for vitamin D. Know that vitamin D, with it being fat soluble, can become toxic. And usually that level is anywhere between 100 and 200. It just really depends on that person's biochemistry. Avoid vitamin D2. It's the synthetic form, which is usually prescribed by most medical doctors, and unfortunately, most insurance companies pay for vitamin D2. You want to utilize D3 because D3 raises and maintains the vitamin D in your body 87 times better, 87% actually, 87% better than D3. It produces 2 to 3-fold greater storage in your body, and it converts 500% faster as an active form. And most importantly, you need to combine your vitamin D with vitamin K2 7, not 4, 7. Vitamin D and K2 work beautifully together. K2 acts as a cofactor for D3 to be absorbed in that body. Very, very important. So you can go buy vitamin D3 by itself, but always go buy a vitamin K2 7. Take those together and you'll optimally get that D level up. I love combining the D3 and K2 in one supplement. It saves you money and it just works great. So the RDA for vitamin D is 600 to 800 international units, and it really does depend upon your age. If you're over 60, you'll want to take a much higher dose. So let's take a look at some foods that are high in vitamin D. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, egg yolk, and raw milk. And know that eating won't give you the healthy optimal levels that you need to increase that immune system with vitamin D. So you would have to, so let's take an example of that. A lot of milk is fortified with D3, and you would have to drink a full quart of milk daily to just get 400 international units. So it really is wise to supplement with vitamin D. And know that a nice way, especially this time in Oregon, it's a beautiful day outside right now. You want to build up your tolerance to getting natural sunlight. So I always recommend that you go outside in the summer and get natural exposure of vitamin D to your skin, and up to 5 minutes a day, then gradually go up to 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to 30 minutes exposure, and start getting a tan. And then after 30 minutes exposure, add your sunscreen for protection. That is a nice way to do that, because if you wear sunscreen all the time when you're outside, you're not getting the natural ability of your body to create vitamin D. Dosage. If you're healthy, you just need to have a maintenance dose of 4,000 to 5,000 every day. If you're not healthy or have any health issues, or presently having challenges with different viruses and flus, we're coming out of that season, thank goodness. Get your levels up by taking 10,000 international units daily with food. And remember, you want to get your vitamin D level up to a good health safe level of 50 to 60 milligrams. And also, you want to be taking it with K2. A third important factor with vitamin D, if you find you are not getting those levels up like you should, magnesium also plays an important role in helping you uptake your vitamin D K2. So Balance has the magnesium in it, but I would recommend getting an additional magnesium glycinate, and increasing that would really help optimize vitamin D levels, which so much help your immune system. The last thing I'd like to talk about for a healthy immune system is what most people don't even know about, is that we have an endocannabinoid system. What on earth is that? Well, medicine is just finding it out. The reason we don't know about our endocannabinoid system, which actually is the master regulator over all our other systems, like our respiratory lung system, our cardiovascular heart system, our gut immune system, and all our other systems, hormones and everything, is because the United States outlawed hemp and cannabis in the late 30s. And so all the research for hemp and cannabis went to Israel and Europe. And so when the cannabis started becoming regulated in several of the states, and we were allowed to do the research that we're supposed to do, many people then found out about CBD. And so know that CBD is just an isolate. It's a piece of a whole pie. It's just a small sliver that helps support our endocannabinoid system. And our endocannabinoid system has CB1 and CB2 receptors from head all the way to our toes. And those receptors need to be balanced, and it balances it with cannabinoids, okay? And so we have more CB1 and 2 receptors than we do neurotransmitters. Goodness sakes, it's crazy. That's a whole other health talk. But why I'm sharing this with you today is because we have an amazing water extracted fluid hemp organic CBD product. Very, very important to support our endocannabinoid system, which directs then when we're ill or we're not feeling well or we have pain and anxiety, or we have gut issues of all kinds, or our immune system is not functioning optimally. This product literally can start helping balance your immune system. Now know that when you take this product, you're getting, because it's raw, organic hemp, you're getting 98 to 99% of the whole flower hemp cannabis, okay? And that's very, very important because CBD is only literally a slice of all that whole plant. So you're getting everything that you need to help support your endocannabinoid system. And with it being raw, I love this. 2/3 of our product is CBDA, which fights inflammation. So know when you take our product called Soothe that I love so much, or Serene, you're getting 60 to 90% absorption of this product, which is amazing because the majority of the CBD on the market, which is oil based versus water extracted, it's a patented process. It holds many patents and it's amazing. Oral is only, according to the World Health Organization, 6% absorbed versus 60 to 90% of our product. Plus you're getting over 104, 106 cannabinoids to help that body heal and to help that gut immune system, okay? So real easy to take. If you get the spray, you want to do 2 sprays in each cheek inside. That's for optimal assimilation twice a day. And our Soothe, you only have to use 1 to 2 drops twice a day. Amazing product to help support your endocannabinoid system that may give you the balance that it needs in your gut immune system. But no, it will direct that back to either brain nerve, gut immune, or hormones. So your endocannabinoid system is in charge of where it's going to go balance what your body needs to be balanced. So thank you so much for your time today. I hope this has helped you realize that you can affect and help your body heal itself by giving those things that are important to your immune system. So the goal is to choose health, exercise. Also know that mind-body plays such an important part too on your immune system. So making positive declarations over your body also helps you heal. Team up for a healthier you, and it's been my pleasure to be with you during this time, and have a great day.